crying little.
Yoga.
I wanted to get this out before he was confirmed as a judge for the Supreme Court, because I sat down and I listened to everything that Christine Blasey-Ford had to say. Like many others, I found her testimony very credible. It's funny that Donald Trump said that she was credible, but also now he's mocking her. Like I said, this man is the equivalent of a Jim Henson puppet. The reason why his actions seem irreverent is because he does not have the capacity to know how to bullshit as well as other presidents have, where presidents have stood on one side of an issue, but you see that they have moved to another side of an issue because the people who rule over them tell them what to do. They do not make decisions, and they need someone up there that is a dynamic figure and intelligent enough to be able to bullshit people where they feel comfortable with what they're hearing, to be able to lie well enough to convince people of why they moved from one side of an issue to another. And Trump cannot do that well. But back to Brett Kavanaugh. Now, the main things that I heard about him is that he drinks. He drinks in excess. There's a lot of people who do that. There were two things that stood out for me. This word boof, it's B-O-O-F. I've never heard of that in my life. And it refers to anal sex. And also the devil's triangle. I've heard two explanations on this, but they say it's usually one woman and 2 or 3 men that are having different types of sex with her at the same time. This is the type of stuff that was going on in the school where he was. And I do believe he was arrogant. The crew that he was hanging out with, they were arrogant. They felt like they could have any girl that they wanted to. They were so used to having their way with the young women there that they thought all women were down to participate in any type of activity that they wanted. But the accusations of sexual assault, I do believe Christine Blasey-Ford was sexually assaulted. I believe she went to a party. I believe that she did go upstairs. I believe that these two, in their mind, felt like any girl who was in that house, they had sexual access to. They were drinking. They were drunk. They were acting stupid. But a sexual assault did occur. I do believe they locked her in a room. I do believe the other guy was laughing. He was on top of her, touching her inappropriately. She was terrified. He put his hand over her mouth. They finally got up, laughed at her, humiliated her, and she left the party. You know, they were joking as they were running down the stairs. They felt like they could do that. They felt like the girls who were there, because some of them made them feel like that they could do that. And it was just a joke and it was having fun. But she was not the girl at the party who was down to do anything and to quote unquote have fun with them like that. I believe that he is the type to brag to his friends about the notches on his belt. I do believe that they humiliated several girls by having sex with them and then calling them names for having sex with them. This still goes on today. For whatever reason, men can have sex with whatever and how many of them they want, but women are supposed to be virgins for whatever reason, which would mean that men wouldn't be having sex at all. I guess that never dawns on them because they are quick to call women names because they have sex like them. It's just that I think Christine Blasey-Ford knew what she was doing. She took this opportunity to exact revenge on Brett Kavanaugh for something that he did to her. He humiliated her, so she decided to go after something that could hurt him, and that would hurt him the most, is to try and snatch away his possible confirmation to the United States Supreme Court. She knew that that would be a gut punch, and even if he's confirmed, which I believe he will be confirmed shortly, there is now a scarlet letter across him, and everybody will be looking at what he does, how he rules, what he says. I doubt that will have any effect on any of his rulings, but people will be paying close attention. Depending on how deep this gets, there could be an uprising between the men and women and how the judgments fall. But Brett Kavanaugh tries to portray himself as holier than thou. He wants to uphold this "he is Jesus" image of himself. And he is the type of person who is a Republican or conservative that will look down on people for certain things that they do, but he doesn't want to go back and see that he may have engaged in those same things and he has something in his past, but he's being a hypocrite by being judgmental now and not showing any understanding on when he was young. Not saying that sexual assault is something that you do when you're young, but other activities that he engaged in that he wanted to do, and now he would look down on others for doing the same. He presents himself as moral, on the right side of things. He is presenting himself as this Christian and this church boy, and that's not who he is. And this didn't even have to go that far. He could have admitted that certain things happened, but I do believe because of the statutes of limitations, there would be no, legal ramifications for him, and that is why he is going to be confirmed. But it will be interesting to see how he rules once he is confirmed, because now we know about his sordid past and the things that he engaged in, and it will be interesting to see if he's lenient with people or the ideals he will uphold while he is a Supreme Court justice with that sordid past. But I'll go ahead and leave it right here. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you believe Christine Blasey-Ford, or do you believe Brett Kavanaugh that he did not engage in a sexual assault? And I'll see you in the next one.